Today on episode 37, we're going to be talking about news of the week, also known as our Now segment, and our big headliner, the Coaching Carousel. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 37 of Season 2 of Talking Sports with Miles and Andrew. I'm one of your hosts, Miles Schild. This is my co-host.
I'm Andrew Volkman, everyone. How's it going?
It's going great. So, we do have a little bit of change in the show. We had a segment that we had for a long time now, News Around Sports. We have renamed it to News of the Week, also known as Now. So, to start off our Now segment, Andrew, talk about this hectic MLB offseason.
So this week's actually been pretty big, especially for Chicago Cubs fans. They've been wheeling and dealing over down there on the north side. So first they start off the week with a trade for Marlins starter Edward Cabrera, and Edward Cabrera really broke out this past year in his first 3 seasons in the MLB. He struggled with injuries, even though he's had massive potential. Really actually was healthy this first year and pitched very well for the Marlins, one of their better starting rotation pieces this year. Marlins were looking to deal for him, especially since he has 3 years left of team control, a very valuable thing. The only thing coming with Edward Cabrera is that he just doesn't have the longevity of someone like Sandy Alcantara, who's also out on the trade market. But you're getting a guy in Edward Cabrera who has much more team control than Sandy Alcantara. The Cubs gave up 3 prospects, the most notable of which is one of their big outfielding prospects, Owen Casey, who's actually going to slot into the number 3 slot on the Marlins top 30 prospects list, according to MLB Pipeline. Owen Casey, big outfield pop. Not a very great defensive fielder, but, I mean, he'll get the job done out there. Played all right in his couple MLB games. Wasn't anything too crazy, but definitely a lot of power potential that you're getting for the Marlins in Owen Casey to slot in with Jacob Marcy, who's actually been very good for the Marlins in the outfield, and their all-star Kyle Stowers, not to mention Griffin Konai coming back from injury. So the Marlins low-key have a really good outfield that I'm very interested to watch this year. And for the Cubs, getting Edward Cabrera in here now, their rotation's looking really good. I mean, they got Cade Horton, Matthew Boyd, who had a really good year last year. Shota Imanaga, the lefty, looking to bounce back this year. Edward Cabrera, very solid starting pitcher, like I've already mentioned. They got a lot of good starters over there, and not to mention Jameson Taillon, former really good pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates, now with the Chicago Cubs. It's looking very good for the rotation and the Chicago Cubs. But they did not stop there, however. Last night, during the Packers' really bad game against the Chicago Bears, which we'll talk about later, the Chicago Cubs made a deal with third baseman Alex Bregman, signing him to a 5-year, $175 million contract with a big no-trade clause in that contract. Alex Bregman's 31 years old, had a pretty solid year in his first year with the Boston Red Sox, ended up opting out of his player option with that team, worth $40 million, and now he's signing with the Cubs, for around $35 million a year. However, another thing that comes with this contract, 5 years, $175 million, $70 million of that money is deferred until after this contract is over. So the Cubs are actually the second team in most recent MLB history to use deferred money alongside the Los Angeles Dodgers. So at face value, this contract is going to be about $20 million AAV while Bregman is playing. $70 million of that. I don't know exactly how long that deferred money is going to be going, but should be going pretty long. But it's going to be about $70 million over the next how many every years they decide to go with. So getting Alex Bregman in Chicago could mean the end of the era for Nico Hoerner in Chicago. He's coming up on the end of his contract. Could that mean Matt Shaw is expendable? Their young infielding prospect that came up this year had a okay rookie year. Didn't do very much with the bat, but a very solid infielder with the glove. So that could mean that either Hoerner or Matt Shaw are expendable and possibly trade pieces. Matt Shaw still has 5 years of team control, which is very, very valuable for a guy like him who's only 24 years old. Nico Hoerner is much better than Matt Shaw, but has less team control. He's actually on an aspiring deal. And they have Dansby Swanson in the shortstop position, so this could be a very interesting move for the Chicago Cubs infield. And then one final move, not really like a player switching teams or whatever, but the back-to-back Cy Young winner in the AL, Tarek Skubal of the Detroit Tigers, he and the team are going to be heading to arbitration court to settle their salary for next year. And what really caught my eye, and this might catch your eye too, Miles, is that Tarek Skubal is asking for $32 million in arbitration for this upcoming year in 2026, which would be a record. It would eclipse Juan Soto's $29 million salary that he got from the Padres. But the other thing that caught my eye is that the Tigers are only offering Skubal $19 million. And that's a pretty big gap. That's
Yeah.
$13 million. It's
Yeah.
the biggest gap that we've seen in quite a while. Kind of reminds me of the Corbin Burns situation in Milwaukee. And if I just want to look at this, and this is mostly out to the people that say the Dodgers are ruining baseball because they're spending all this money. The Detroit Tigers, the people that own the Tigers, they're the third richest family in the MLB, the third richest owners, excuse me, with a net worth of $3 billion. And you're telling me that they can't set aside $30-ish million over like 5 seasons for Tarek Skubal, and instead you're going to let him walk? Like, that's just so stupid to me. So I'm not going to make this a whole conversation, but I just want all those to know that say the Dodgers are ruining baseball. They're not. It's just owners are refusing to spend money and not use the options they have, like deferred money, and just not pay their players. I just want to get that out there. But there you go. That's your little MLB off-season update from this week. A couple big moves, a couple little underrated moves, and then this Tarek Skubal incident. So this will be something to watch out for in the coming weeks. We'll see what Skubal gets as his salary for next season.
All right, Andrew. Thank you for that amazing MLB offseason recap. Moving on, but staying in the now segment, we're going to be talking about the NBA trade deadline. And we always are talking about Giannis and all this stuff. Well, Giannis is kind of phased out of some of these conversations, some of these big conversations, and being, the guy who everyone's talking about. Well, we just had a trade that went down literally 15 minutes after we filmed. I believe it was a virtual mini-sode that we filmed.
Yeah, it was our mini-sode. I posted a little instant reaction episode, but I kind of wanted to save our reactions for this episode. But yeah, it literally happened like 15 or like 5 minutes actually after. Like I got the alert 5 minutes. Like it said 5 minutes after we stopped recording, and I was so frustrated because then I had to go get all my stuff and bring it back into my studio, get set up again. I had to text you. Yeah. It was all very frustrating.
Yeah, it was. It was a bad timing for the Hawks. They should have thought about that.
If you want to listen to the episode, by the way, it's the opening part is super funny, guys. Like I was really mad, and you should listen to it. Like Miles already listened to it. He was laughing too. But anyway, what were you saying?
Well, this trade. Let's break down some of the details. I'm sure you already covered it on on the Trae Young thing. But Trae Young got traded to the Washington Wizards for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. Now, C.J. McCollum he's been a solid guy throughout his entire career. He's averaging 18 points per game right now, and he's going to be a guy who, on this team that can't really tell, like, they're a win-now team, but they have young pieces like Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson.
Yep.
But they also have older guys like Kristaps Porzingis. And you could really see a nice little mix here. And then getting Corey Kispert, he's averaging 7 points per game, I believe.
Off the bench.
You get a good younger. He's in mid-20s. You get a younger forward. You bring him in. That could be good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a depth guy for the Hawks going into the rest of the season. But he's on an expiring deal too, like C.J. McCollum. So these are not permanent pieces for the Atlanta Hawks with this trade.
Right, Andrew. What are your thoughts on this trade? First, let's talk about what are your thoughts in what the Wizards are getting with Trae Young.
So, for the Wizards getting Trae Young, I think this move it's good on like two sides for them, because like this trade could totally like end up not working out for them. Like Trae Young may not be anything good for them, but at the bare minimum for Trae Young, these will be the best big guys that he's ever played with, probably at least over the next 2 years. He's gonna be playing with Chris Middleton. He's probably gonna leave in free agency. They have Alex Sarr, who I think is kind of underrated, to be honest.
For sure.
He's definitely been playing better than his rookie season, kind of like Zachary Richachet. But Trae Young wasn't really helping Richachet develop. And you have Chris Middleton, who's kind of there to help Alex Sarr develop. You have so many young guards like Trey Johnson, A.J. Johnson, the former Bucks player in there as well. Bael Kubi, I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name right. It's a weird name.
Something like that.
So the Wizards have a lot of good young talent. And with C.J. McCollum, he wasn't really helping to anchor that team.
Right.
But getting Trae Young, at least for 2 more years, he's going to be helping that Wizards team develop. Those young guys, he's going to help them develop a lot more. And this will probably be the best opportunity he's had to play good basketball, in my opinion. With the Hawks, he kind of was really, it was kind of a question, like, is he the number one guy? Because you got Kristaps Porzingis in there, you got Jalen Johnson, and you got Trae Young. Trae Young was hurt. Now he came back, and the Hawks aren't winning with him. They were winning more without him. It wasn't a good fit for him in Atlanta, but now getting a fresh start in Washington, I think could give him a new opportunity to prove himself. especially since in a couple years he's going to hit the open market again, and he could potentially go get a big bag somewhere else. For the Hawks, though, getting rid of Trae Young probably helps them. CJ McCollum being there, he's a good role player. You're going to let Jalen Johnson and Kristaps Porzingis, Dyson Daniels, you're going to really let those guys get all the buckets. CJ McCollum's still going to be really good. I think it's a solid trade, like for this year at least. But then you're getting Corey Kispert as well, good depth guy. And this is kind of what I said on our instant reaction. However, the Hawks getting rid of Trae Young and not getting any picks, though, is absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
Like, they absolutely, like, just beyond this year, though, like, the Hawks absolutely got fleeced in this deal. Without getting any picks for Trae Young, like, you're getting player capital with CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Yeah, they're good. Like, Corey Kispert and Trae Young at face value, they've been doing similar numbers this year. CJ McCollum might be playing a little bit better defense than Trae Young. Like, Trae Young's he's averaging under 20 points a game, I'm pretty sure.
He's averaging 18.
So face value, they're doing about the same offensively. But long term, you're not getting any picks for a guy that's still a big star in the NBA today. So for the Hawks, they absolutely got fleeced in this deal.
Well, yeah, here's what I have to say about this. Trae Young got too good too fast. And, right, we all remember the Bucks when they won the championship was 2021.
Yeah.
So that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, he was 22 years old.
Yes, definitely.
He looked like a rising superstar. The next Steph Curry, right? He brings the Hawks into the playoffs. They lose to the Bucks, but it's a great matchup. And he was always in his own shadow with Atlanta. So even if he could do something good, it just never was as good as he started out. And he was sort of digressing. He was regressing with the Atlanta Hawks, and it wasn't good, and it got really ugly there at the end. But either way, he's still Trae Young.
Yeah.
He's still 27 years old, and he's going to the Wizards. They got a great deal from this.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, I would give that any day to get Trae Young, no matter what. Either way, Trae Young is better offensively than CJ McCollum.
100%.
And he very well could have a career resurgence in
Washington.
Yeah. He's got plenty of time to keep building on his career. He's still a young guy.
And it's not to say that he can't go ahead and get an extension with the Wizards. Like, because they got rid of CJ McCollum, they actually ducked under the luxury tax even more. The Wizards did. Same. Hawks also ducked under the luxury tax even more with getting rid of Trae Young. So that's not to say Trae Young can't re-sign with the Wizards once his contract is up. So the Wizards, if anything, they have nothing to lose at this point. Like they've got Trae Young. If he leaves, I think he'll be fine. They're not really in a position to win at this current moment. In a year, maybe they'll be contending for a play-in position or a lower seed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think the Wizards got a great deal out of this. They have nothing to lose out of this.
Well, yeah, and not giving up anything is also huge.
That's huge
right?
for them, too.
I always go back. Whenever a trade that's stupid happens in the NBA, I always go back to the Desmond Bane trade.
Luka Doncic, too.
That trade, I don't even want to... I could talk for an hour just about that trade. But anyways, the Desmond Bane trade. I always go back to that. What was it? 5 first-round picks?
Yeah.
5 first-round picks for a guy who, no offense to him, he's maybe borderline a star.
Maybe.
Borderline a star. So you were doing that. Trae Young's better than Desmond Bane, no question in my mind.
Yeah.
All right? And not getting any picks is crazy to me.
This is also a good reset for the market because, again, Desmond Bane going for multiple first-round picks. Mikal Bridges going for multiple first-round picks. Like, all due respect to those guys. But they're not a Trae Young. They're not a Giannis.
Right.
So this is a good reset for the market. This is bad for the Bucks if they want to trade Giannis because now the value of picks for Giannis may be at an all-time low now.
Right.
That's the only problem with this. But it's a good reset because we're no longer seeing these crazy trades with multiple first-round picks for Mikal Bridges types player. No disrespect to Mikal Bridges. We love him.
Right. But
he's not Trae Young. He's not superstar right now. He's a star. Mikal Bridges is. He's maybe worth 1 or 2 first-round picks, not 5.
Right.
Not 5, though. So, yeah, there you go. Trae Young trade breakdown. That's a good, solid, 7 minutes on this. So, yeah, I think that's very good. But at the end of the day, we can both agree, Wizards fleeced the Hawks, right?
Wizards won.
Yeah, Wizards won this trade 100%. But let's go ahead and move on. Now, this is a little bit of a NASCAR news real quick. This was the big news that kind of dropped that Steve Phelps, the commissioner of NASCAR, announced his resignation from the sport in a very interesting statement. And this all stems from the lawsuit that NASCAR had between two of its teams, 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports. The first of those teams owned by NBA superstar Michael Jordan. So it was very interesting, that lawsuit was, which thankfully got resolved. But several texts were exposed between Steve Phelps and I believe another official in NASCAR. Very ugly, calling out Richard Childress, owner of Richard Childress Racing, former owner of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s team. So this was a very monumental and very controversial sight. But Steve Phelps announced his resignation as commissioner of NASCAR, and it's sad to see him go as a NASCAR fan, but good riddance, because those comments were very ugly to be sure.
Wow, some sticky situations over there at NASCAR.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're going to stay with the now. This is a very long news of the week segment because there's a lot going on this week. Badgers, let's talk about them. The Wisconsin Badgers, their basketball team got one of the best upsets of the year so far. Wisconsin Badgers, unranked, they came into the game 11-4. 10-5.
Okay.
10-5. They came into the game against the undefeated Michigan, the second-ranked Michigan. The Badgers get the upset win, 91-88. They win by 2.
Wow.
And really, it was John Blackwell who played 39 minutes. He had 26 points. And also, the new guy, Nick Boyd, he is, I want to say San Diego State. Yes, he's from San Diego State. He's averaging 19 points per game, him and Blackwell both.
Wow.
And those two together have been extremely good for us. And the Wolverines just couldn't get anything going against the Badgers, and we tore them apart. Yeah. We really did. This upset, I love it. I was so shocked to see that the Badgers did this. I couldn't have been any more happy than how I was. Andrew, do you have something on the Badgers football team now?
I do, actually. So one of the big reports coming out the last couple weeks is that the Wisconsin Badgers, after losing some of their quarterbacks due to going to the draft or graduating or transferring out, like Billy Edwards to UNC, they were in search of a quarterback, and they did land a quarterback. They landed Colton Joseph out of Old Dominion. He is transferring over to the team. I actually saw a YouTube video of him like walking into Camp Randall. They had his name up on the video board, so it was kind of cool for Colton Joseph. But yeah, he was a sophomore this past year with Old Dominion. And some of his stats, he had 2,624 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 receptions, and a QBR of 69.2. Kind of nice.
Yeah, what were his rushing stats? Because he's a rushing quarterback, isn't he?
He is a rushing quarterback, too. I got to go find that. So this season, he had 158 carries, over 1,000 yards. 13 touchdowns. So he actually improved his rushing stats compared to last year in his freshman year as the starter for Old Dominion. He started as the freshman for Old Dominion last year, which is insane. And that's pretty much all I got for his rushing stats. But he's got a completion percentage of 59% this year with Old Dominion, past year, excuse me. So, by all looks, Colton Joseph, I don't see him being a bad option for Wisconsin.
I am excited for this guy.
Wisconsin did bring in another quarterback from Louisville. I forgot his name, sorry. Let me go look real quick. I can find him, I'm pretty sure. Never mind, I can't find him. Deuce Adams, Deuce Adams, he's from Louisville. He transferring in from Louisville to potentially help compete with Colton Joseph. And the Badgers have been landing some other commitments as well. They landed a really big linebacker from community college. I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name
either. So I'm trying to look, but I can't find it actually.
Well, yeah, these are great moves.
The Badgers have been getting some good commitments in the transfer portal, though, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, and it's great because end of the year, it was awful. And we lost pretty much everything. I don't think we have any receivers left in the wide receiver room. They all left.
Yeah. Vinny Anthony's going to the draft, too. He may not get drafted, but,
Yeah, it was so sad to see. But the quarterback thing, we're getting a young, talented, mobile quarterback. When was the last time we had this? We always get slow, old, fifth-year, sixth-year
injury-prone quarterbacks.
For the past 3 years,
we've
had that, and they always go down in the first 3 games.
Yeah,
and then we have some random backup play, and we just can't get anything going.
Yeah,
and now that Wisconsin is spending money, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
This is the first time since Hunter Wooler in his prime at Wisconsin since I've been excited to watch this football team play.
100%. So all things encouraging for the Badgers football. Sticking with college football real quick, the national championship game for college football has been set. And what would you know? Miles was right once again. University of Miami, Florida is taking on the number 1 ranked team in the country. Fernando Mendoza, Kurt Signetti, and the University of Indiana. The Hoosiers are going up against them for the college football championship. Wild game for University of Miami, Florida. Last second drive, game-winning drive by Carson Beck to beat Ole Miss, which was insane, by the way. That was an insane drive. And then Indiana absolutely beat the bricks off of Oregon and Dante Moore. So got a very interesting matchup yet to come. Can Miami's defense lock down Fernando Mendoza in Indiana? I would just say we give our predictions real quick.
Yeah, sure. You go first.
So, the Cinderella story that has been the University of Miami, Florida is incredible. Carson Beck resurging this year after kind of washing out at Georgia has been great. However, just for this game, I want to be right. I'm going to go with Indiana. And Kurt Signetti, Fernando Mendoza, his last hurrah before he goes off to the draft, potentially be the number 1 overall pick. I think it's written in the stars for Fernando Mendoza and Indiana to get it done.
Well, I said I'll list a few of my predictions that I said. I said at the beginning of the playoffs, if there's a team that's going to be the Cinderella story of the college football playoffs, it's going to be Miami.
You did say that. I do remember that.
And look at what happens. Miami with Carson Beck, Mario Cristobal at that head coach. He is arguably one of the top head coaches in college football, along with Kurt Signetti. So that's exciting. This is a great matchup, even though it's the 1 seed versus the 10th.
Like,
right?
that's incredible, though. The 10 seed getting all the way to national championship. Like, you don't see that very often anymore.
You do not see that. And to me, I am so excited to see this game. And I know everyone's like, oh, Indiana killed Oregon. And Oregon is really good.
Oh, yeah, Oregon's really good.
So Miami doesn't stand a chance. I don't believe that. I believe that Miami will put up a fight. But, I could be wrong because I sure did not see Oregon getting blown out.
By that much.
I said the player who plays the best football in that game will be the number 1 overall pick. And let me paint it out for you. Fernando Mendoza threw 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a lot.
5
that's
touchdowns.
A lot.
He earned himself the number 1 overall pick. I mean, no matter if it's the Raiders or if the Jets straight up or whatever it may be, Mendoza played really good football. And I think we could see it, but Miami's defense is so good.
It is really good.
Will it slow down Fernando Mendoza? Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at live updates of the Bills and Jaguars games.
Ooh.
The Bills just scored with a minute left. It is 26-24.
Oh, my.
Bills will be kicking the extra point, I believe, not going for 2. This is going to get crazy.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy game.
But back to the national championship, I think Indiana will get the win here, but do not be surprised if Miami pulls out a win. It pulls out an upset. If Miami wins, Carson Beck moves up 3 rounds in the draft than what he was projected.
He's projected to be 3rd round right now, or
I would say closer to the 4th or 5th.
Okay.
But if he throws 5 touchdowns and wins the national championship, he could be the Tyler Shuck, go 2nd round and no one expects it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. And staying with the college football here, Trinidad Chambliss got his 6th year of eligibility denied by the NCAA, forcing him to go to the NFL draft.
Yep.
Andrew, will he be a 1st-round pick? Go.
Well, based on what you've told me, these are not. Based off what you told me, you think that he has a really good chance to go to the number 1, to the 1st round at least.
I do.
I personally think that he's going to be like. It's tough for me to tell that. I can't make that prediction. It's kind of too tough for me at this point because I don't have the ball knowledge of college football that you do. I think, based off what you told me, that he's going to be either fringe 1st round, like late, like 4 picks in the 1st round, or top 4 in the 2nd round. That's where I think that he's going to go. So
interesting.
He could go either way. Mobility is really good. I've seen that. Throwing, pretty good. The throwing is really good for Trinidad Chambliss, right? I'm saying his name right. So he has all the tools to be really good. And
Right.
without having Lane Kiffin for the final couple games in the playoffs, it's still very good. So I think that fringe late first rounder to very early second rounder I could see for Trinidad Chambliss.
That is most likely true, but I'm going to contradict that.
Okay.
I'm going to say, all right, you look at the top 10 teams, there are teams that are willing to trade back. There are teams like the Giants who have a higher pick that would be willing to move back because they have their quarterback. You have teams like the Titans moving back. So I think we could see an all-out quarterback frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it a few years ago, right, when it was J.J. McCarthy went, Michael Penix, like Bo Nix. These guys were going earlier than everyone thought they were going to go. Like, everyone thought they were going to be second, third round picks, and then all of a sudden everyone gets nervous that there's going to be no quarterbacks left. So I think we could see that again. Mendoza goes, Dante Moore. All of a sudden, you got guys like Ty Simpson, Trinidad Chambliss, and I don't know, you could see some sleepers like Garrett Nussmeier sneak in there. You know, we don't
Pavia,
really know.
Maybe.
Diego Pavia, maybe. I saw he's fighting for another year of eligibility as well. I haven't got any updates, but there are some sleepers, and Trinidad Chambliss, he has the ability to be elite. I will say that.
Wow.
I've become an Ole Miss fan.
He's this year's Jackson
Dart.
He's this year's Jackson Dart.
I have become a Ole Miss fan just because of the electric quarterbacks that have been coming out of Ole Miss.
Wow, 100%. That's kind of bold. Is that your chilled spicy situation of the day?
We can call it the chilled. That was pretty spicy. I
think that's pretty spicy.
That was sriracha.
I haven't heard anyone say that Trinidad Chambliss can be elite. I don't think I've ever heard that. I don't think I've heard that yet this year.
I think out of anyone in this draft class.
Yeah, we're only 11 days into it, so like maybe it's too early to say that.
It could be too early.
But
I said this about Jackson Dart same time last year, and look at him. He could win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. There you go. Chilled spicy situation, I think, right here, right now. Trinidad Chambliss could be elite. And finally, to wrap up football, kind of like in our now segment, I guess, would you call it, we have our Super Bowl predictions. Like, I know the playoffs are already underway. We made our predictions before the wild card games last night. We were very disappointed by the Bears and Packers one. We'll talk about that later. But for our Super Bowl matchup, this could be in jeopardy for me at least. I have the Bills taking on the Rams in the Super Bowl, and being that the Rams barely were able to beat the Panthers, I'm not really sure about that matchup. But I'm still confident in Matt Stafford and Josh Allen, so I have Bills versus Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
this February.
Yeah, I made 3 playoff brackets for the NFL.
Whoa! Is that loud?
It is allowed. I have them in a bunch of different leagues. Okay. But anyways, one of the leagues, I said the Panthers would upset the Rams. That league's shot now. But I did have the Rams winning in 2 of the 3 leagues.
Okay.
I had the Patriots facing the Rams. Ooh. But the way the Rams played against the Panthers worries me. And with the finger. I was watching the game live. Oh, yeah. Matthew Stafford's finger, that's throwing hand, middle finger, as a guy who's played quarterback, I know how important it is to be able to grip the ball. Yeah. All right? He may not be able to throw it, he'll be 20 yards shorter, right? Yeah. So if they need that Hail Mary and his finger's all messed up, he's not able to grip the ball well, it's not going to be good. Mm-hmm. But then you have Puka Nacua, who can catch it anywhere, anytime, except for that one going into half. He dropped. That was bad. But you got guys like Devontae Adams, catch it anywhere. Kyron Williams can run wherever you want. So this Rams team is going to be the team to beat.
And not to mention that defense is still so good.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Jared Verse,
Braden Fisk is there, too.
There's so many good guys.
Very good defense for the Rams. All right. Well, I think that's the end of our very long opening now segment. Miles, it's time to fire up the coaching carousel in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You have something very spicy for us. So,
always.
The NFL coaching carousel, we already did a mini-sode on this. We got Miles' kind of, I would call them, takes for the interim where they could go. Because we want to save this more so for today. And what do you have now?
Well, welcome to the coaching carousel. It's going to be a ride. Let me tell you that.
Buck, get your seatbelts tightened. Do they have seatbelts on the carousels at all?
They do.
They do? Okay.
They do have them for the safety.
Okay, because I don't actually remember going on a carousel.
I've been on a carousel at the zoo. I remember I went on them. And also, but look at how easy we could get sidetracked. Yeah. So let's stay on task here. Okay. So There are 8 opening jobs right now. There could be more. Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
Okay, but the top job right now, the job that everyone's going to want, Baltimore Ravens, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And to me, I said this, I gave you a little preview of this. They're going to go defense, in my opinion, because you think of Ravens. What do you think of? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, that scary defense. And you have the ability with that team to have a scary defense. Roquan Smith, and then you have all those defensive backs.
Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton in safety.
Malachi Starks, and Marlon Humphrey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just so good. So, to me, you get a guy who could be good on defense, but then Lamar, you got to be able to work with Lamar. And to me, the guy who can do that, Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator, gets the job with the Baltimore Ravens. He was the Dolphins head coach a few years ago.
When Tua was first brought in.
Right. And now I think Brian Flores to the Ravens could be very good, and he could bring back that elite Ravens defense. Andrew, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I agree with that. In my opinion, I think that the Ravens also may look to maximize the offense with Lamar Jackson at the helm, with Derrick Henry still there. And we didn't really see that with John Harbaugh being able to use Derrick Henry effectively until the game against the Packers for whatever reason. He just decided to. So I think there's an argument to be made that the Ravens may go with an offensive guru like Clint Kubiak with what he's done in Seattle this year. Cliff Kingsbury could be an option as well. Mike McDaniel, like maybe as a long shot option, potentially, like if they really, really want to get an offensive guy. But again, your defensive head coaching with Brian Flores is very, very valid, though. And I'm a guy that will always be in support of defense.
Yeah.
A defensive guard in basketball.
Yeah. So, second team that'd be exciting to go to, the New York Giants. This one speaks for itself. I listed it. On the offensive side, Jackson Dart, Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors, and then you got some of them sleepers like Theo Johnson, the tight end, and Wanda Robinson.
Yeah.
And then on the defense, Sexy Dexy.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
My Sexy Dexy sweatshirt somewhere around here. Brian Burns, Javon Holland,
Kayvon
Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. You
Carter.
got guys. There are some good young talent there.
That D-line is so scary. Like that's a Packers. That's Jeff Hafley's wet dream right now. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, and that's why Hafley would have been such a good role. Like that would have been so good for him. But based on this Packers game, we'll talk about that in our upcoming episode, Talking Sports Unfiltered Packers edition.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But staying on topic, I think the Giants go big or go home. John Harbaugh, the Ravens' former head coach, goes to the Giants. I know everyone's talking him and the Dolphins, but that's just rumors. Who wants to go to the Miami Dolphins? To me, the Dolphins are going to sign. We'll talk about that later. But John Harbaugh to the Giants, they're going to get someone good. And a guy who had made Lamar Jackson a 2-time MVP and built that offense around him. You're getting the same thing. I mean, come on. You look at it, Cam Scadaboo, Derrick Henry, they have a similar run-you-over kind of mentality. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart, Lamar Jackson, they can throw it deep, but they can beat you with their speed any day.
Yeah.
They also have, they have like the pizzazz. They have the look of being the quarterback of the franchise.
Yeah.
And to me, John Harbaugh can really turn that Giants team around, and in a hard division to win. You got the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. John Harbaugh could put the Giants all the way to the top over the Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with it. I maximize the offense, like what I was just saying with the Ravens getting an offensive guru. Mm-hmm. It makes sense too.
Yeah. All right. Atlanta Falcons wraps up the top 3 of the best places to go. You may be questioning, why the Falcons?
Yeah, I really am.
Well, let me tell you. There's a few reasons. First reason is the division, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The winner of your division was 8-9.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And they had to get in because consequently the Falcons had to win their game for the Buccaneers to get in. So no matter what, their division winner was probably gonna have a losing record anyway.
Right. So you look at it like the Falcons. That's the place to go because that is anyone's division at this point. right? They're not firing, what's his name?
Todd
Bowles down at Buccaneers. So you could see that same kind of season next year. Dave Canales, he's staying. We'll see if he can take another step. He's been slowly stepping up. And then Kellen Moore and Tyler Shuck they still got a few years.
They just got there.
Yeah, they got a few years. So the Falcons, that division is wide open. Also, the Falcons have weapons. Bijan Robinson is arguably the best running back in the league.
Yes.
You're going to have Drake London, who continues to step towards an elite status.
Quietly, too. Like,
Quietly. Kyle Pitts is there. You bring in a different coach, a offensive coach that could maximize him.
Okay.
Clint Kubiak of Seahawks, the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, Clint Kubiak, to the Falcons is my prediction there. And you also got Michael Penix. Look at what he did with Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, Sam Darnold, Michael Penix, same kind of boat. I think that is a great move. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. My only hesitation is that look at what Clint Kubiak has done in Seattle and specifically with the running backs. Kenneth Walker has no touchdowns for whatever reason, and they're all going to Zach Charbonnet. That's my one pause, but if that's my one pause, you're still getting touchdowns. So at the end of the day, does it really matter? Unless you're a fantasy guy, then it probably doesn't that much. So I'm not worried Bijan Robinson's going to lose his job to Tyler Algier because I don't think that's possible at this point.
That would be the stupidest thing ever.
But it's still a good idea to bring in Clint Kubiak, though. Probably.
All right, you're going to be shocked with my fourth team.
I just don't agree with the Falcons also being the third best team because, again, I get the weak division part, but the uncertainty at quarterback, how long is Michael Penix going to be out? Can Kirk Cousins still sling it? That's just all my questions, though. You can't have Drake London play good. You can't have Kyle Pitts play good if you don't have a solid quarterback. And I'm just worried about that with Kirk Cousins getting older, Michael Penix being hurt. Bijan can still run it, but how many times can you run it a game before he's burned out?
Yeah.
That's just my question.
That's a fair take. But I think you give him the right coach, you can turn around. The GM also has to do his job.
Yeah.
Putting a good offensive line out there, getting more weapons than just Drake London because there's really nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's gonna be my third team. I know it's a shocker.
Okay.
My fourth team, you're gonna be shocked. You are gonna be shocked. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, that is a little bit surprising. I'm not gonna lie though.
No, let me tell you, the Raiders. I love this one. This one's excite me.
The let me tell you gets me every time, man. Let me tell you.
Anyways, let me tell you. So the Raiders have a decent offense. Brock Bowers, he digressed. I will say that, but it's a sophomore slump.
Injuries too. Let's not forget that.
So I think he comes back third season, has a big year if they bring in Cliff Kingsbury, Commanders' former offensive coordinator, offensive guru. It would be amazing. You also have Genty. Pete Carroll did not use Ashton Genty the right way.
No.
And also, just the offensive line was awful.
Yeah, that's true.
Ashton Genty had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Ever. Geno Smith, awful. Led the league in interceptions. To me, this is a value job. I may have put it over the Falcons, really, at 3, because they have number 1 pick where they're probably going to get Fernando Mendoza, and even if they don't, even if they're Geno's their guy for at least a little bit longer, they trade down, they're going to get a whole bunch of picks, which will set them up for the future. So to me, they're going to bring in a young guy. They tried the old guy, Pete Carroll thing. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah. And that's what we learned from Pete Carroll. Get him out there. He can take Geno Smith too. And the Raiders go get Cliff Kingsbury. Andrew, what do you think?
Makes sense. That's what every NFL team is probably looking for. They're looking for their next Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, young offensive-minded head coach, like Clint Kubiak as well. That's what they're looking for. So it makes a lot of sense. And that's kind of what I go for when I'm looking at head coaches and evaluating them, is the logic behind them. And I think the logic makes all the sense right here. It's just, I think hopefully that defense can stay consistent as well. Their defense wasn't as consistent this year, but we can see if they can get back to form coming up.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Now, number 5, this one was hard because we're getting to the point where they're just all bad.
Okay.
So the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
I put them at 5. I put them in the top 5 over the Cleveland Browns. All right, but here's my case. All right, Devon Achane, he is underrated, man.
But he's so good though.
He's so good, fantasy killer.
Yeah.
All right, and Jalen Waddle, he's. I don't want to say he's not getting used the right way. It's just he doesn't have a quarterback. No offense to Tua.
Yeah, he's got all the talent in the world. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when Tua had his like big breakout year, like his third year, I believe, in the league. Him, Tyreek, Tua, it was all good in Miami, and they had Devon Achane, I'm pretty sure, that year too. So it was all looking good for Miami. So he has all the talent, though.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's uncertainty at the I guess you could say there's uncertainty at the quarterback position, but I wouldn't worry because either way, even if say you keep Tua, he's not the worst quarterback in the league. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Is he the best? No.
No.
And he could be even worse without Mike McDaniel. I will say that.
That's true.
Because Mike McDaniel built an offense for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he threw the second most interceptions in the league behind Geno Smith.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely some problems. Tyreek Hill, possibly career-ending injury.
We'll see.
It could all just not be good there. But I do think they're going to bring in Chris Shula, the Rams' defensive coordinator. I don't think they go offense. They tried offense with Mike McDaniel. Didn't work. Joe Barry sucks. He is on that Dolphins team. He is their run game coordinator and their linebackers coach. And they had the worst run stop in the league.
Yeah,
as a Packers fan, he was our defensive coordinator before Jeff Hafley. His name leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Joe Barry. Ugh. So I think Chris Shula comes in, turns that defense around, uses Chop Robinson a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a top pick from Penn State, and they're just not using him. So I think Chris Shula goes there. His dad, Don Shula, had some sort of connection there. I don't remember what it was, but there's connections there. Andrew, thoughts?
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins' defense has been issues, even like when Mike McDaniel was there. Like, they were trying to do it. Like, even before Joe Barry was there. He's not the defensive coordinator, though. Anyway, like, even before they tried to fix that defense, it still wasn't good with Mike McDaniel. That was the thing that was really giving up with the games for them. When their offense couldn't do anything, then their defense really was not doing anything. So, getting a defensive head coach, it's a good building block because you don't have any certainty really on offense right now. And getting something to maybe stabilize the defense that, at the end of the day, could be the one fueling the offense. Like, that's where the momentum is gained sometimes on the field.
Well, they also have, I forgot, like, Minka Fitzpatrick and Bradley Chubb. Like,
they do have Minka Fitzpatrick,
they have defensive guys that they need to use.
Yeah, it's just, again, not maximizing that talent. So, yeah, defensive-minded does make a lot of sense here for the Dolphins in this case.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, this is a tough one. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 6 right now.
Okay.
I was torn. Browns or Titans? Because, let's talk about it. Let's talk this one out, because I'm still not sure which one is going to be the better one to go to. Titans, Cam Ward, possible quarterback of the future, still didn't show enough.
Well, I think all the traits are there for Cam Ward. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, but there's just no one there. Like, there's no help.
Except Shamir DK, former Wisconsin Badger, though.
Yeah,
good.
He was good. Alec Amor, I think his name is.
Amor as well.
He looked decent. They still they don't have a number one.
Yeah.
They need a number. Since A.J. Brown, they just haven't had a number one. And that offensive line, terrible. The defense besides, what's his name? Simmons? No.
I don't remember either. They did have a good defense a couple years ago, but I think they've lost a couple guys there, so it's not very good. They have L'Jarius Sneed there, but he's not doing much over there
he's
either.
not doing much. And then on the Browns side, good defense.
Myles Garrett.
I mean that defense is really good.
Charles Schwessinger.
Carson
Schwessinger. Sorry.
Who's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And that defense is so good.
Absolutely.
But then you have whatever the circus going on at quarterback position. Deshaun Watson probably going to be the starter next year. He's going to get the shot. Quishon Judkins, that bad injury at the end of the
Yeah,
season. See what happens
sucks
there.
for him.
Jerry Judy's just not getting used, but I mean, you still got Jerry Judy.
I don't think Judy's it anymore. Like he's had so
He
much time.
was with the Broncos,
No,
though.
he wasn't though.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
All right, fine.
It wasn't to the point where you're spending a first round pick on him. Like the pick that the Broncos gave up for Jerry Jeudy or selected him with, he hasn't shown that yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't shown it really, and it hasn't been the same with the Browns. He's been a shell of what he was in Denver, and it wasn't very much.
Yeah.
Like he's there. He's a warm body at least, but
yeah.
I mean, it's just not
Well,
good.
to me, I'm gonna go Browns. Are the better team? The what do we have? Sixth.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Sixth team here, the Cleveland Browns. That's it. I wouldn't hate going to the Browns. I know the Browns are the don't want to go there. Draft Day. Anyone seen that movie? I mean, that made me I like the Browns a little bit more because of that movie. But looking at that, I think the Browns go defensive coordinator Jesse Minter, and that's a hot take because you could say their defense is already perfect, right?
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz, their defensive coordinator, very well could be the next head coach for the Browns.
Yeah. I don't hate it. The logic is there. They have a defense that they can build around, that can be their anchor. They can build the offense while the defense really holds it down. Because for the Browns, their offense is going to be the thing that really keeps games close.
Right.
So you want to maximize the defense right now. Kind of similar to maybe not similar to the Dolphins, but you need to stop something if you're the Dolphins with not really an offense. So I think it makes sense for the Browns to bring in.
Right. I think the offense is going to be the GM's problem.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the GM. He got them into there. He can get them out. Like that's going to be my thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Browns, the seventh team is the Tennessee Titans. We talked about them. Kevin Stefanski of the Browns, I believe, goes here to the Titans. Gives Cam Ward stability. The GM, again, this is another, we're getting to the point where it's more the GM than the coach.
Yeah.
So the GM has to bring in guys for Cam Ward.
No, I mean, we've seen the defensive head coach kind of come into play here. I mean, we've seen it work with Dan Campbell and the Lions. We've seen it with Mike Vrabel just this year with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah, the Titans should have never fired Mike Vrabel, period.
Nope.
That was a bad move even when it happened.
Yep, that was terrible.
Anyways, he's going to be head coach of the year.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Cleveland Brown. No, shoot. I went the wrong way. All right, Arizona Cardinals are the final and last team. You may be asking me, they have Marvin Harrison Jr., they have Michael Wilson, they have Kyler Murray and Jacoby Brissett, and they also have Tway McBride.
Yeah, I mean,
and Calais Campbell.
The offense, Calais Campbell. The offensive pieces are there. They are there, but it's just they got no quarterback.
How do I do this? How do I say this without being offensive? We're not going to say it. But to me, the Cardinals, you would think they go offense. Nope. They go defensive coordinator Robert Saleh of the 49ers.
Ooh.
That's what I'm going to say. You guys are going to hate it. Everyone's going to hate on me for it. Robert Saleh on the Jets was not the worst possible thing that could have happened. Robert Saleh should not have been fired, period. That Jets team is awful. The GM should have been the first guy out, not Robert Saleh. I hated that happened. And then Robert Saleh turns that 49ers defense that literally has nobody left. Right? You got Nick Bosa, done for the season. Fred Warner, done. Like, no one was there.
Yeah.
And you lost the big Telufino, the safety to the Broncos. That's where they lost their top safety. Mm-hmm. They lost Dre Greenlaw also to the Broncos. Like, they just didn't have anything on defense, and somehow Robert Saleh still emerged as one of the best defensive coordinators. And to me, you do that for the Cardinals. Again, some of these end teams, I'm putting defensive guys onto them because the offense is so messed up. That's going to be the GM's problem.
Yeah. I think for me, though, it just comes down to maybe there's not a offensive head coaching candidate out there that's worth investing in at this point. I think that might be the case for the Cardinals here. Like they may be the last position for many teams. Like we already seen Clint Kubiak go somewhere. We've already seen Cliff Kingsbury go somewhere. Like maybe someone will open up like out of the blue. Maybe a Mike McCarthy could end up being there, but
Yeah. Well,
I feel like it's not going to be. There's going to be no offensive minds there to.
Well,
really
I
make
mean,
sense. And they're not in a position to take a quarterback. I don't think either.
right? They're really not, and they're not in a position to trade either. Like
No.
they don't have really anything, which is why Robert Saleh would make sense, because they could go and get Mike McDaniel. I didn't have him. Like I wanted to bring him in, but I think they're gonna go defensive here. I don't think Gannon did not work out at all.
No, Jonathan Gannon did not work.
That was not good. And when Jacoby Brissett's playing better than Kyler Murray, it's not good for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's all you need to say at that point.
Well, that is the end of the coaching carousel.
Well, so that was a little bit of a long ride, if you know what I mean.
That was.
But
hopefully you didn't fall asleep.
hopefully you didn't fall asleep. But yeah, thank you for that, Miles. Very insightful. You probably,
of course,
again, you have more ball knowledge than me, at least when it comes to football head coaches. So we'll see where these predictions go. Many other head coaching positions could open up.
Matt LaFleur.
Packers.
Matt LaFleur.
So we could see. We may have to come do this again. Maybe another job opens up and you have to flip your whole thing on a board.
Back again.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Back to the drawing board.
But that's going to do it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, and you're listening on YouTube, hit a like and subscribe down below. Turn on notifications as well. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Go check out my show, Talking NASCAR, as well. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well. They'll be linked down in the description as well, so go check those out. But now we'll wrap it up here. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Miles.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you guys.